Dan, let's talk Arizona Cardinals. 8.5, 8-9 last season. I thought they did a pretty decent job adding some pieces to the
Yep.
defense. That was their biggest problem. Their offense was ranked seventh, and the defense was 23rd, according to PFF. So Tomlinson and Sweat and Collier, big additions. Evan Brown as a guard, Zay Jones wide receiver. I'm sure that's not going to affect them a lot, but some decent depth here. What was your takeaway on this number on the Cardinals here?
But the big takeaway is, man, this should be sitting at 7.5, right? Because okay,
Okay.
they finally get the 9 wins last year. 8.5 just feels really tough for me in this division. Simply because heading into this division, it's all question marks, right? Like, what do we get out of the 49ers? Do they seem more like the Super Bowl contender, or are they more like the team that couldn't get out of their way, last year? I'm kind of on the leaning of the latter, as I'm not a big Brock Purdy guy. They give him the keys to the castle. So I think how Arizona performs versus this number, Andy, I don't think there's a team that's more correlated, or for this whole division, what happens in division. What teams do you see in division? Because I'm with you. Like, I'm glad for them that they overhaul the front seven. I think Josh Sweat is one of the most underrated pass rushers. Me as an Eagles fan know him well. So overhauling that front seven can only be a boost for this team. But the only thing that matters when you're talking about the Arizona Cardinals, outside of what happens in division, outside of what happens with their front seven, Kyler Murray. The Kyler Murray experience is one of the most frustrating in all of football. If you're a fantasy football player, you spend a high draft pick on him, and he's burning you year after year, simply because last year, Andy, he clearly wasn't right. That knee injury was still hindering Kyler Murray. So I need a crystal ball to know, how does the Arizona Cardinals perform, because I need to know which Kyler Murray do we get. And also with this offense, you see flashes in the receiving core, but not really any consistency to speak of. And James Conner has been a revelation, back-to-back seasons over 1,000 yards. But when does he fall off a cliff? Like you feel like that has to be coming, right? So 8.5, you can't get me betting the over on this. Do I feel confidently taking money and betting the under? No, but I feel like this number should be sitting at 7.5. And clearly some people like the Arizona Cardinals coming into this year. I just don't know enough about Kyler Murray's health. I don't know enough about what's going to happen in division to say Arizona Cardinals season win total, that's one that I want to add to my betting card. What do you think? Do you have a stronger take on this one? It's a full lean to the under, a pretty heavy lean to the under, because I think they're going to be right around 9 wins. But do you have a stronger take on this team? Because this is a team that I feel like I need a crystal ball on to handicap. This would maybe be a season win total that I would be looking to attack in season. After you see Kyler Murray in week 1 and week 2, how does he feel? How does James Conner look? How does this new front seven look? I do like their bye sitting there right around the middle of the season. That's always a positive, I think, when you get to hit the reset button. But after that bye, schedule doesn't get no easier for this team. So I don't have a huge, strong take. Do you have a stronger vibe on this one?
Yeah, they got a nice schedule to start the season. Saints, Panthers the first couple weeks, then 49ers, Seahawks, then Titans, Colts. I don't think my Colts are going to be very good. And then Packers. So it's a pretty decent schedule to get started. But you're right. It gets tougher after the bye week. They go Cowboys, Seahawks, 49ers, Jags, who knows? Bucks should be good. Rams, who knows? Texans, who knows? Falcons should be better. We don't know. Now, the brutal one is at Cincinnati in December. if Cincinnati's playing for something, the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray, that's a tough one. And then Rams at home. So I think you touched on my takeaway. I don't think this division's very good. I don't see it from Seattle. I don't see it from San Francisco. That defense is a shell of what it was. And the Rams, listen, McVay always seems to put it together, but I'm gonna lean to the over. There's always these teams that kind of surprise. You could tell me that they're gonna finish fourth in division, or that they may win. If this defense is even just a little bit better, you got Marvin Harrison Jr. Can he become a thing? I do like the depth at running back. So sometimes you got to roll the dice that teams are going to improve. I think they're going to improve. They almost got over this number, so I'm going to lean to the over. I think they sneak a couple of these division games. I wouldn't be surprised if they had a winning record in the division, and then you throw in Saints and Panthers to start the season. That's got to be 2-0 right there. So now we got a nice chunk.
But to your point, Andy, to your point, those first 2 games of the season will tell you a lot. Like, do they beat up on 2 teams they should? You know, like because this over could be dead the second those 2 games go off. So that's for me why I would say, hey, I probably wouldn't place this one before the season. But Andy, when we're done with all of these team recaps, we'll have to put up on a screen what Andy and I chose for all of them, because I think there's been one team that we agreed on so far. So I'm looking towards the under on Arizona Cardinals. I like JP says, Dan, I don't have a strong take, and then I go on and do a beautiful diatribe on taking the under. So yeah, that's what we get here as we're previewing the NFL. But man, it's right around the corner here, Andy. And you and I haven't quite been seeing eye to eye heading into the NFL season. So it should be fun here all year long. You and I doing some NFL takes, as the season goes on. But under for me, over for Andy. Break the tie in the comments below. And while you're down there, make sure you like and subscribe.